It's the Orioles unmasked, and Kansas City is the site. A 4-game stand here. Kansas City Royals have put the hurt on the O's in the first 2, and tonight Wei and Chen's going to try and turn that around. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome. This tough road trip for the Orioles has begun just that way, with the Royals coming away with a couple of victories, including a 1-run win in the ballgame last night. But what a matchup on the mound we have for you in this ballgame, starting with the Orioles left-hander. Wei and Chen has been as good or better than any of the starters the Orioles have put out there this year. His earned run average, 3.13, is 8th best in the American League. The Orioles have won more games when he started than any other starter. On the other side, what may prove to be the trade of the season. Johnny Cueto has joined Kansas City. Cueto is still 8th in the National League in ERA, and he has won his first 2 starts in this ballpark for the Kansas City Royals. These are 2 outstanding pitchers who meet up tonight.
Yeah, it should be a great matchup. Wei and Chen has kept his team in the ball games all season long. He's been outstanding, the most consistent starter for the Orioles. He's got a 3.13 earned run average, 8th best in the American League. So I think the Orioles they have to feel good about that, but they understand that they're going up against one of the better pitchers in the game. And Johnny Cueto has been outstanding since coming over to the Kansas City Royals. A big sign just before the trade deadline, and a key to his success is so many different looks. He's going to try to disrupt hitters' timings with his delivery. Take a look here. A little pause at the top with the shoulder turn, calls it the rocking chair. A little rock there. Then a quick pitch from the wind-up. How about another look? A little Louis Tiant right there. One more look here. A little pause, and then another quick pitch. You know, so he's got these different looks. He's going to try to disrupt the timing of the Orioles hitters, but he's got great pitchability and command with all of his pitches, and that's really the key to his success. Yeah, he's an entertainer out there with some of his ways to disrupt hitters' timing, but he has a quality arsenal. He's got 4 or 5 pitches with great command of all of them, and he pitches very well here at home.
Ned Yost says it's 4 windups and 6 pitches, and all of them result in strikes. We'll see whether or not that happens tonight as the Orioles and the Royals go at it. This is Game 3 baseball coming up. By Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Coons.com. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons. Paul Yadish is the newest member of the Orioles, called up yesterday and immediately got into the game. 7 major league seasons are part thereof. A lot of ball games played. Batting average down, glove always exceptional. He has always been one of the best defensive players on any team he has been on. We had a chance to talk with him about last night and getting back to the majors.
Yeah, absolutely. I was glad to get in there the first day back, and fortunately got on the board with a hit and got a few plays, so it was good. Get comfortable.
Look, you've gone through a lot of injuries, a lot of minor league ball clubs, minor league games. Why stick it out as long as you have?
It's one of those things. I've been fortunate, too, to have a significant amount of time in the big leagues, and when you get to the big leagues, it makes you want to get back. So it's one of those things where, unfortunately, I've spent about the last year and a half in AAA and played well at times, just haven't been able to get the call. Unfortunately, right now, got called up with Baltimore and hopefully be here for the duration of the season. Minor league
games can be tough. Have been there not nearly as long as you, but the bus rides, the long games, how do you get yourself in a mental state to continue through that as the years go by?
It's tough, man. I tell you, that's the most difficult part of the minor league season, without a doubt, is the travel accommodations. But it's one of those things, you just get used to it, and it's like anything else. We don't know any different, and whether you like it or not, you got to do it.
Now, you know different regarding economics and rice. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I had enrolled to go back to school. I have one semester left to graduate, and there's a couple of motivations. I made a deal with my parents to finish school, and it's something that I personally want to get done. And also, my wife graduated from Rice, so I'm tired of her having that to hold over my head. So there's some motivations to get going back, but being here in Baltimore is a good excuse to not finish this year.
Why economics?
It's just I was always a math guy, numbers guy, and it just is. Rice actually doesn't have undergrad business, so it was kind of the pseudo business degree. So that was the philosophy.
What would you like to do when it's done? This game of yours.
That's a good question. I don't know. Fortunately, I feel like I'm going to have the opportunity to do a few different things, and we'll cross that bridge when it comes.
You want to keep playing for the foreseeable future? Is that still the goal?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Hopefully I'll get to play for a few more years. It's just about, for a guy like me, it's just about finding the right fit with the right team. So hopefully I'm able to do that, and if not, we'll figure something out.
How'd the knock feel last night in that first AB?
It was good. Like I said, it's funny how those things work, but it's a great feeling to get it out of the way early. That way you don't have to worry about it and think about it. So it felt good.
All right, Paul, congratulations on being back here, and good luck. And when you get that degree, congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Well, Paul Janisch brought in for that depth that Dan Duquette and Buck Showalter have been looking for. And, with his experience at the major league level and obviously his incredible glove work that he's shown through the minor leagues and, his big league stints, they brought him in here to really help the development of some of their minor league pitchers. They had some great young arms in AAA. Tyler Wilson had a great year. Mike Wright, Drake Johnson, some young arms. And their earned run averages are down very low, and a lot has to do with it, the defense, the strength up the middle. Janisch only made 4 errors and 407 chances for the International League. So, I think he's an important part for this club right now defensively, with J.J. Hardy obviously down.
And may have an interest in staying in the game when the playing days are done, too. We talked about that. Our BGE home game time temperature. Another beautiful evening here in Kansas City. It is 82 degrees, humidity at 47 at sunset time. BGE Home, Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? And here's the starting lineup brought to you by Southwest. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Machado, Power, and Jones, Davis, Wieters, and Pierce. Paredes will get a start. Jonathan Scope, Ryan Flaherty, he will be at short. And for Jonathan Scope, month of August has been a good one.
And let's take a look at Johnny Cueto's pitch arsenal this year. The fastball, 70%. That's a good four-seamer, 91 to 95. He can two-seam it. Also cut the fastball. Breaking ball has a curveball and a slider. And the change-up, straight change. Pretty good command and pitchability with all those pitches. 270 earned run average for his 10th win of the year. 144 punch-outs, just 33 walks in 166 innings of work. Opponents hitting just 212. Lefties only 182. Fly ball pitcher, 58% of his outs in the air, and has given up 13 home runs. Now, Cueto's had sensational numbers at home for a number of years now, but got roughed up on the road in his last start against the Red Sox. Most of his pitches elevated. After the game, he said his front shoulder, he couldn't command the front side, so every pitch was elevated. Orioles, so I hope he doesn't have that same command, or has that same command he had in the facing the Red Sox. Look up in the zone.
29 years old, a right-hander who has had some great seasons already, and still a long way to go in front of him. Manny Machado will lead it off. Manny will take the first pitch off the foot on a foul ball for a strike. Manny coming in with just 1 hit and 9 at-bats in this series. The Orioles' bats have been really quiet. Orioles are losers, of course, of 6 in a row. And during those 6 games, there have been very few Orioles other than Jonathan Scope who have put on much of an offensive show. So the Orioles try and end that skid here tonight against the Kansas City team, which has won 4 in a row and are now 77-48. Cueto's delivery, and that will be for a strike on the inside corner. Johnny Cueto with the Cincinnati Reds was 19-9 in 2012. He was 20-9 last year with the Reds with a 2.25 ERA. It didn't come automatically. He spent a number of seasons in the minors before coming up. Then things seemingly got turned around 2009. Ground ball to short. It'll be played by Escobar for the out. All right, Jeep inside the numbers on the Kansas City starter.
Take a look at his pitching splits this season with the Royals. He's made 2 home starts, and he's been outstanding. 2 wins, a .53 earned run average. On the road, not a lot of success. 0-2 with a 5.21 earned run average. ERA got ballooned in his last start, 6 innings, 6 earned runs, but it was a tough test on the road. He faced Toronto Blue Jays, where he was no decision, and then he pitched 7 innings against the Tigers, gave up 2 runs. So I think just that last start, the Red Sox really jumped that earned run average up.
Here is Parra, who has seen more of Cueto than any other Oriole because of the National League games. He has had 7 hits in 23 at-bats against Cueto with a couple of home runs. He has picked up the 1 for 8 in this series. Pitch on the way to into center field. Kane. 2 down.
Let's take a look at the Royals defense behind Cueto. Zobrist, Kane, Orlando getting the start in right field. Escobar and Infante up the middle. Moustakas and Hosmer once again on the corners. And Perez once again behind the plate.
You saw Kane with that little motion afterwards. We talk about balls that are hit directly at outfielders, especially center field. That ball moved on him, and he had to kind of give it a little jump. It surprised him, and it had a little movement. And that's what happens on balls that are drilled right at you. And Kane saw it, stayed with it. But, boy, you take your eye off a ball like that, and it's going to be over your head. So Cueto retires the first 2. Here's Adam Jones. Adam with a couple of hits in the series. Home run, 2 RBIs. Cueto throws a lot of strikes. Adam Jones having a discussion with home plate umpire Joe West, the veteran. Be interesting tonight because West historically has had a strike zone that's favored hitters, and it's favored them considerably so compared with others. We'll see whether or not that holds up in this ball game tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike count. 2 pitchers who rely on control to get outs. That will be a strike on the outside corner.
And Cueto, when nobody's on base, he mixes up that delivery. Adam Jones talking about not liking that strike call to Joe West.
West is letting him have it for stepping out of the batter's box here. He's not been happy with 2 calls, and he took a very long walk. Cueto put his hands on his hips, waiting for him to get back in. 1-2 delivery on the way, and that will miss inside for a ball. Might want to keep that in mind as the game goes along. Should the Royals get a big lead and Jones be at the plate, Cueto has drilled 7 this year. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Outfield very deep. Yeah, here you go. Little cat and mouse. Cueto's going to step off, ask for timeout. Oh, yeah.
Cueto does enough to disrupt the rhythm out there. Throughout the at-bat, he's changed his delivery every pitch.
And he gets him. Foul tipped into the mid. Cueto gets the strikeout and retires the side in order. Orioles will have Wei-Yin Chen, their left-hander, on the mound when we come back. stop right away. Adam had something to say to him as he went out to center. And Joe West decided, oh yeah, and started following him down the third baseline a little bit. So, yahoo!
Yeah, that's some old school stuff. I think Joe had made it up in his mind that if Adam Jones had turned around and said one more thing, that would have been it.
I think
he
you're
was
right.
just waiting for that final showdown.
All right, here's a look at the lineup. Royals have Escobar, Zobrist, and Kane, Hosmer, Morales, and Moustakas. Perez, Orlando gets a start, and Infante, Moustakas last three real good. Wei Chen ready to go. Pitch on the way, and a strike.
Take a look at Wei Chen's pitch arsenal. The fastball, 65%. He's been outstanding, located in and out, slow curve, slider, and the straight change. That 3.13 earned run average, 8th best in the American League this season. Take a look at the opponent batting average. 253 overall. Fly ball pitcher 59% of the time. He has given up the 24 home runs, but 20 of those have been solo shots. And that batting average is just 138 with runners in scoring position, leading all major league starters.
And swing and a miss, and a good pitch down and in. Escobar now 5 for 18 lifetime against Wei Chen. Chen has 122 strikeouts in 149 innings. Only 34 walks. Good ratio on the walk to strikeout side of it. Zobrist coming up. Zobrist, big numbers against Wei Chen. 371 with one home run and a lot of at-bats for all those games that he played with the Rays against the Orioles and faced Wei Chen. He's got the most at-bats and the biggest average of anybody in the lineup. And that's one of the reasons why he is hitting in that number 2 spot. Not that he doesn't otherwise, but Ned Yost wants at-bats by Zobrist against Chen. 0-2 delivery on the way. Will be outside.
Yeah, this Royals team struggled earlier on in the year against left-handed pitching. They've started to make some adjustments. Zobrist, the robust numbers, 354 here in August.
Wu Chen starts out with a couple of strikeouts on good pitches.
Well, he's holding great fastball velocity here in the early part of this game, and his slider he's throwing hard as well. That one 87 miles an hour buried down and in on the Nissan pitch track. His first strikeout to Escobar, 88 mile an hour slider down and in. So locating it very well, throwing it hard off the 94, 95 mile an hour heater.
So 2 quick outs. That'll bring up Lorenzo Cain. Big 4 for 9 with a couple of RBIs in this series. And he is 5 for 13 lifetime against Chen. Parra will cut it off. And a 2-out single by Cain.
Take a look at the Orioles defense behind Chen. Pierce, Jones, and Parra in the Orioles outfield. Flaherty getting started shortstop tonight. Scope at second base. Machado and Davis on the corners. And Matt Waiters behind the plate. Get Ryan Flaherty getting started shortstop. Started a couple nights ago. Then Giannis got the start last night. Buck's going to be doing the matchups with the 2 shortstops until Hardy gets back.
The 8th start at short for Ryan Flaherty. Here is Hosmer. He's faced Chen a few times. 7 for 17 against him with 2 home runs. And that's lefty against lefty. Hosmer 5th in average, 9th in RBIs, and 9th in runs in the American League coming into today's play. Chen's pitch to him will be inside for a ball. Weigh in against Kansas City is 1-1. He has had 6 career appearances against the Royals. Here in this ballpark, 2 starts, 1-0, with a 2.84 earned run average here at Kauffman Stadium. 1-0 delivery on the way, and a big cut by Hosmer. Foul back 1-1.
Getting after it there. Wei Chen attacking that inner third with the fastball. They do not want Hosmer to get those arms extended. Got real good plate coverage. Wei Chen's been exceptional this year with his fastball command, both into lefties and into righties.
Runner at first base. 1-1 count, 2 down. Cain the lead. Baseball goes to second on a big hop. Jonathan Scopes got it, and that will do it. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. This is the 3rd of 4 games. KC's won the first 2. Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lights. The Orioles come in with a 6-game losing streak. They have not lost 7 in a row since July of 2011, when they had a 9-game losing streak. For this Kansas City team, they have won 9 of their last 11 and 21 wins in their last 26 games at home. And they've also won 8 consecutive games against the Orioles, counting the League Championship Series last year. Davis trying to stay off the heater up high, can't. Talked about players who are struggling. An 0 for 7 in this series and an 0 for 16 for Chris as he stands in. Pitch will be taken inside for a ball, 1-1.
Yeah, it seemed like when Chris Davis started heating up back beginning of July, end of July, it seemed like this Orioles offense started to relax a little bit.
That's going to take care of the offer into the corner. Orlando. Davis is going to go for 2. Throw will not be in time. And Chris will pick up the 2-bagger to lead off the 2nd inning and get out of that offer stretch.
Well, there you go. Good start for Chris Davis. 21st double of the season for Davis. Great base running there. Tight turn around first base. And I was saying, when Davis got hot, everybody got hot. Everybody jumped on. Here, a beautiful swing from Chris Davis, catching it out in front. Take a look at this turn here. The big man making the tight turn around the bag. He has good speed for a big guy, but those tight lines around the bases really improve your base running set, and they're very easily for that double.
So the Orioles get a chance to get on the board, and Matt Wieters will have the RBI opportunity. The Orioles 1 for 2 in game 1, 2 for 6 in game 2, with runners in scoring position. So a 3 for 8. Not a lot of chances first 2 games. Wieters will take the pitch outside for a ball. Matt too trying to get the bat going. Seeing the average drop down at 222 with runners in scoring position on the year. Wieters, a little bloop to right's going to fall in. Davis will make the turn. He's going to be waved home. Kane, no, he stopped. Bobby Dickerson had the arm going, waving him home. But Chris Davis didn't think he was going to be waved home, so he came into third very slowly, and Kane handled the ball like there was nobody on base.
Yeah, that was a very slow developing play. I think off the bat, maybe Chris Davis thought it was going to get out to the outfield a lot quicker, so didn't put it in high gear. And take a look, just slow and easy. Bobby Dickerson waving the arm, but then it's a little too late. He tries to turn it into the next gear. There was an opportunity for the Orioles to make a mark.
So here is Pierce, nobody out. Runners on at first and third. Steve hitting .273 in these situations on the year. Orioles would love to get to Cueto early. And a ground ball fouled off. He, like Chen, solid numbers with runners in scoring position. He's at .217. Chen, as Mike said, at .138. So both of them have been very tough to get hits off in these situations. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Brady's on deck. Ground ball again out in front of it and fouled off.
Well, Cueto really good about working both lefties and righties, and you see the good 2-seamer riding in on Steve Pierce. He showed he's going to pull the first one, goes right back in to get strike 2 on Pierce, and now a lot of different ways to attack.
Cueto is making his 25th start overall and his 6th with the Royals. 2-2 with the Royals, ERA of 3, 9-8 on the year with an ERA of 2.7. Pierce will take the pitch inside at 93 and a 2-ball 2-strike count. You wonder whether this trade that brought Cueto here to Kansas City and the David Price deal may prove to be 2 of the biggest trades made. In terms of how it finishes up in the postseason, we'll see. Here's the 2-2 delivery and a swing and a miss. Boy, that is right where Perez wanted it, a little bit outside the zone.
A steady diet of 2-seamers inside. Pitch prior to this one, well in off the plate, opens up the outside corner and just dotted 93. Straight 4-seam fastball there.
So 1 away, runners remain at first and third. And here's Paredes. Paredes has had a couple of hits and 3 at-bats off Cueto. But Showalter said he just did not want him riding the bench anymore without getting some playing time. So here he is. And the pitch outside. Paredes has had only 34 bats in August and is 4 for 34. You look at the other starters who are up 90, 95, 100 at-bats. Give you some idea. Oh, he hasn't played a lot this month. Came inside with a breaking ball that he swung at.
Yeah, he a very aggressive hitter. The first 2-3 months of the season, though, he was locked into his own strike zone. So he was aggressive in his strike zone. He's been chasing pitches out of the zone. He's telling me he's not seeing the ball, obviously, very well. Not trusting his hands. He was letting the ball travel into the strike zone early on.
That's a off-speed delivery at 85.
And it almost appears like he's guessing. Has been for the last couple months.
So the Orioles lead off Double Davis. Moved over to third on the Wieters single. They are on. 1 out. 1-2 delivery. Paredes stays off it. Good stop made by Salvador Perez, and he wanted a check swing look at third, and he did not go around.
Perez adamant about wanting that ball down in the dirt, pointing down. Cueto executing, almost getting Paredes to offer at that pitch.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Cueto's delivery to him, fastball at 93 up and in. Cueto rarely walks anybody. He has given up 4 walks in 36 innings since joining the Royals. He's had 3 consecutive starts without a walk, and he gets a pop-up. Perez had a hard time finding it in the on-deck circle, and a very big second out. 2 down, still 2 on. Maryland Lottery contestant of the game, Stephanie Timmons from Salisbury, $500 for being selected, $500 more for every Orioles home run hit tonight. Play baseball buck scratch-offs, win up to $50,000. Enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/baseball. Perez going out to give him a little breather as they look for a third out here. Jonathan Scope coming up, and Jonathan's had the hot bat of late. Jonathan's got a 4-game hit streak coming into the ball game. 2 for 7 and an RBI in the series, and very good at getting runners in on the year at .316. 2 down, 2 on. Scope first pitch over the screen and back.
Well, you got to be ready to hit. I mean, you hear about Scott Coolbaugh telling his hitters this all year long, but when you face a pitcher like Johnny Cueto, who disrupts that timing and the rhythm by the many different wind-ups, different variety of looks out there, you got to be ready to attack, ready to hit in the strike zone. Don't get caught up in all those different looks.
Over the top on the fastball that time and drove it down foul on a 2-strike count.
So Scope the big numbers with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Over 400.
Davis on at third base. Wieters on at first. Look where he's set up, a mile outside. Trying to get him to chase. 1 ball, 2-strike count.
Right now he's basically doing everything Perez wants him to do. Whatever pitch is called, wherever the glove is, he's been consistent in hitting that spot.
1-2 delivery will just miss inside. So the count will go to 2-2. Cueto being worked a little bit here in the second inning after those 2 leadoff hits and some deep counts. Outfield shaded a bit to right. Cane's a couple of steps that way. They give him the gap in left center. 2-2. And going out, Perez to have a word with Cueto.
They definitely want to be on the same page. Perez has some ideas of how he wants to attack Jonathan Scope. And I think he just confirmed it. And Cueto said, all right, I believe in it. Let's do it.
2-2, 2 down. And a foul ball. Perez out of Venezuela. Cueto out of the Dominican. International baseball right here in this battery with the Royals.
Right.
And that guy behind the plate's a good one. And Jonathan Scope at the plate from Curacao. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Cueto's delivery, and that one's going to be fouled back. Count stays, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Orioles battling here to try and get a run in the second inning and get on the board.
Some good changeups he's thrown down at the bottom of the zone. Jonathan Scope, a nice job keeping this at bat alive.
Cueto steps off.
Hasn't thrown a breaking ball yet. Perez putting down the sign and does not want to spin the ball here early in the ball game.
It's that fastball inside. 2-2 delivery on the way. Got it right down the middle and fouled right straight back. Pretty good battle going on right here. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Cueto and Scope. Jonathan, is and is becoming an even better contact hitter. Will give you these long at bats, fouling off good pitches. Sets up away, and he got him to chase. So he strikes the side out, has 3 in the game, gets 2 in the inning. The Orioles will lead 2 on base. Won today over the Yankees 6-2. Gaddis had a 2 for 4, a couple of solo home runs. New York outscored in that series 21-4 and lost the series to the Astros 2-3. If you take a look at the American League East, now this is just the American League East post All-Star numbers. In runs scored, the Orioles in the East are 4th. You see Red Sox first. OPS last for the Orioles. Toronto's first. And the number that still amazes me the most, post All-Star, the best ERA in the division is Toronto. The Orioles are 4th. Kind of a mix there for all of that, except Toronto really laying down some lumber and some ERA numbers. And the pitch will be taken for a strike.
Well, I think you talked about David Price going up there. He made an immediate impact in that rotation. I think it lifted everybody's confidence, and you learn from guys like that. It's already shown up here in the Kansas City Royals team, picking up Cueto. Ventura, the young right-hander we're going to see tomorrow, has improved his game. He's learned so much in the short period of time from the veteran righty.
Wei-Yin Chen with a breaking ball. That is a strike on the swing. Kendrys Morales, the DH switch hitter. Morales, a home run in this series in the first 2. That's his hit. the 1 for 5 and the RBI. Against Chen, 3 for 9. And that one will come inside. For Morales, the switch hitter, big season, filling that hole left when Billy Butler left. Hitting .283 right and .282 left. 11 of his 14 home runs hit left-handed. He'll put that one in the air to center. Jones going back. Adam reaching, not going to get it. It'll hit off the bottom of the wall. And into second base with a double is Morales.
Well, he covered that baseball there. Morales, second in the league with RBIs, picks up his 34th double. Playing this ballpark well. Pull the hands in and squares it up. Keeps the barrel up and beats Adam Jones to that right center field gap. Easily makes it into second base.
And with that double, he is now tied for second in the league in 2 baggers with Jason Kipnis and Josh Donaldson. Brantley leads. The Cleveland Indians got 38 doubles. Those 3 have 34. So a runner in scoring position, leadoff double is Moustakas. 6-game hit streak for him. Bunting. And a foul ball by that much. Manny Machado wasn't all the way over, but he was moved over to short, so he did not have a good angle on that, and that ball almost hit the bag.
Yeah, wisely, he had to really make a good judgment call here. Moustakas squares this one up all over the barrel, so it's coming down hot. Manny's got to make a quick decision when he gets over there, and he senses it's going foul. Rightly so, just missing that third base bag.
So Moustakas with a 1-strike count. Couple of hits, 6 at bats against Chen for the Moose. Runner off second base, not a big lead for Morales. Bunting again the other way. Chen feels it, will have to go to first base, gets the out. Interesting. It'll be a sacrifice, and that was what he was doing there.
It sure was. This Royals team really does whatever it can to try to push runs across the plate. And here, after kind of pushing one a little too hard towards Manny Machado, he takes one the other way. Actually, that's where you're supposed to bunt it. Second.
So it puts a runner at third base, no score in the ball game. 1 down. Perez up. 1 for 8 in the series. An RBI chance. Infield halfway. And he got it. That'll go to left field and deep. Going back, Pierce at the wall, right off the metal fence into second base. A double for Perez and RBI as Morales scores.
Salvador Perez stretching it out, 19th double. Has some pop. Wei Chen trying to get that fastball in there under the hands, but it stays up and out over. He easy swings this one off the wall. Steve Pierce, a little bobble there. Helps Perez get in there to second base. Might have a shot at him if he gets it clean.
Perez way above his overall average, hitting almost .290 with runners in scoring position now. And he gets one in here, and the Royals get the 1-0 lead and only one away, and another chance with a runner at second. Coming into the game, 4 for 14 against the Orioles with runners in scoring position in the first 2 games. Paulo Orlando down the line. Great stop by Davis. And didn't get him. Chen did not get to the bag in time. Davis makes the stop, but Chen was late. And safe is Orlando.
Well, there are little things that have happened here over the past 6 games. Things that sometimes don't show up in ball games. And right here, Wei Chen just a touch late covering first base. Thinking that Chris Davis is going to get up and take it himself, but great hustle there to beat Wei Chen. Chen, typically a great defender, always helping himself on the mound.
So Chen in trouble here. Runners on at first and third. 1 down. And we'll look for the double play ball off Infante's bat. Fonte's had a couple of RBIs in the series, including that 2 doubles ball game. He is 2 for 7. Infante, 1 out. Infield a double play depth. And he'll nub one. This is going to be tough. No play at first. Nowhere. Run scores. Another infield hit. Infante gets it with an RBI, 2-0.
I think the Orioles are starting to get used to these infield hits against the Kansas City Royals. But they do what they can. I mean, this is in their MO last couple of years now. Here, just getting on top. A little chopper. Manny Machado thinking Jen's going to field it and try to get Perez at home, and he hesitates for a second. Just takes a little bit too long to make a play there.
36 RBIs for Infante. 2 runs in here in the second inning. First and second, and the leadoff batter Escobar coming up. Little mistakes you didn't see the Orioles make for most of the year start showing up, and in fairness, some bad luck. I mean, they've had a lot of those infield hits against them here during this 6-game losing streak, but part of the game. Pitch on the way, and a ground ball just foul by Escobar outside of third base.
And sometimes you get caught up in that stuff, and you start making excuses. You know what happens, and it does seem to happen a little bit more often against the Kansas City Royals, at least from what the Orioles remember carrying over from the postseason last year. But you still have to execute when the opportunities are there, and Wei-Yin Chen not getting over to cover first base on that great play by Chris Davis has shown up in this inning.
You cannot give up outs in this game. It is a fundamental rule, and the better the team, the more you're going to pay when you do. And certainly the Royals, one of the best teams in the game right now. 0-2 count, 1 down. First and second base. Orlando at second, Infante at first. Escobar in the air, center field. Adam Jones going back, makes the catch up against the wall. Runner going back to first base here. I think they both touched second at the same time. And is out. How about that? Yeah. Infante at first base went all the way down to second where Orlando was, touched the base and went by him.
Yeah, and touched the runner. Did about everything you're not supposed to do.
He's out. You cannot pass a runner ahead of you on the base paths, and there's a mistake by the Royals. They get the lead 2-0.
Back on August 14th through the 19th, they went 5-1. They swept the A's and split with the New York Mets. Robust batting average of .316, 7 runs per game with the 15 bombs. Everybody was hot in the Orioles lineup. And then they started to hit the slide. Minnesota Twins swept them. They've lost 2 here against the Royals. 222 batting average, 25 batting average, 2.5 runs per game. Way down on the year for the Orioles, and only 2 long balls.
How about that shot? It's not a baseball. It's the actual setting sun. Wow. Beautiful. Another gorgeous night here. Johnny Cueto's pitch will be up high. Here's Ryan Flaherty. Flaherty getting a chance at shortstop for the Orioles tonight. As Buck Showalter continues to try and give everybody a chance to play. They hope that Hardy will not be gone more than 2 weeks. That's the hope. But that's a substantial period of time at this point of the year. Flaherty will foul that one off outside of first base, and a 1-ball 2-strike count.
Well, J.J. Hardy, even though offensively the numbers weren't quite there this season, you know, he added so much stability. His presence back defensively for this team, I think, made everybody feel better.
Flaherty will take it outside. The Orioles shortstop position, like their left field position, is last in the majors in offensive production. So 2 spots in which they rank last overall in offense. And there's a base hit up the middle. So Flaherty is on with a single to lead it off here in the 3rd. Beginning on Monday, don't miss an inning of the excitement as the O's are going to be back for a big 3-game set against the Rays. Tuesday's Ollie's Bargain Night presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. The Upper Reserve tickets are only $10. Get your tickets now, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. So the Orioles get a leadoff single, 2 out of 3 leadoff batters on base. And that'll turn the order over. Manny Machado grounded out his first time up. That ball put up in the air off the end of the bat to left field, hit deep back at the wall, and goodbye, home run. Manny Machado going after the first pitch of this at bat. Delivers one deep and ties the ball game up with Flaherty coming on ahead of him. And it is 2-2.
Well, we talked about Cueto's problems against the Red Sox in his last start. Everything was elevated. Manny Machado able to get on an elevated fastball for a 2-run home run. Ignite this Orioles offense.
26 home runs now and 64 RBIs for Manny Machado as the Orioles able to get the long ball off Cueto and tie the ball game up. He has given up 14 home runs on the season. 3 of those have come in a Kansas City uniform. And that's fouled off. Parra.
Take a look at the pitch here from Cueto. The fastball up and right over the top of the plate. And Machado short to it, long through it, backspinning it out of Kauffman Stadium.
And a check swing, foul ball by Parra. So the Orioles take advantage of a break with that base running miscue in the 2nd inning that ended the inning. Orioles come right back in the 3rd and get those 2 runs back and tie the ball game up. Their 4th hit of the game. Parra will go the other way, foul. By the way, it's a unique situation. A runner passing another on the base pass is out with a fly ball to center being hit by Escobar. It is an unassisted double play is how it is officially scored, and you don't get those very often. And Infante probably won't have that happen again. Down to first, that's fair ball, backhanded. Cueto gets over to cover. Hosmer gets it to him. Fire is gone. Let's take a look at our strongest fan photo you've got. You can maybe get it on the air. Use O's Couch Cam, and you might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Perez making a lot of visits out there to the mound early on in the game, seemingly to give Cueto a rest.
Yeah, it does. I mean, a little bit surprised about this. Cueto now making.
I mean, he covered first base, I guess, so you do that. But
yeah, they do kind of take care of pitchers nowadays that way.
They do, don't they? Yes. Catcher becomes a valet. Manny Machado with a homer.
Yeah, 98 miles an hour off Machado's bat.
Pitch will be taken inside. Here's Adam Jones, strikeout victim, first time up. He and Joe West, home plate umpire, did not agree on a couple of the calls. 1-0 pitch on the way, and that's up the middle, right where they were playing, though, Infante, Leo.
Adam Jones couldn't quite get the bat head to this inside fastball. A change up back through the middle. Cueto ducking out of the way, but easy play for Infante at second base.
I guess we have now come to the point where balls that touch the ground are automatically replaced. How pretty is that? Bye. Hello, Moon. 2 down. Davis double his first time up. On that last ground ball, they were throwing it around the infield, and Joe West threw a new ball out to Cueto, and then when they threw it around the infield, they throw the ball out of the game. I don't know that I'd seen that before. Seeing a lot of things here. They open the gates. This is a 7 o'clock ball game. They open the gates at 6 o'clock here in Kansas City, an hour before the game. And that is the shortest span between opening the gates and game time that I've ever seen. We've talked about it before. It's probably a foreboding of the future. Teams are taking less and less batting practice on the field, more and more underneath in the cages. There's not much for the fans to see anymore coming early. So apparently Kansas City decided, why open the gates? There's nothing to watch. Of course, the answer to that is souvenirs and food and beer.
Yeah, right? Although Kansas City well known for their tailgating, so
yes,
they might all be out in the parking lot.
Anyway, yeah. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Davis stepping out, Cueto stepping off. Chris getting out of the 0 for 16 with a double, first extra base hit he's had in 22 at bats. Cueto this time, though, will get him. 4 strikeouts, but the Orioles come back. Manny Machado, the long ball, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left as Manny drills one. That is going to be his 5th lifetime against Kansas City. 2-2. Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By Royal Farms. Royal Farms world famous chicken and western fries made fresh, never frozen. Real fresh, real fast. Royal Farms. And by your local Mazda dealers. Gary Thorne and Mike Bordick in the city of fountains, Kansas City. The only city in the world that has more fountains than Kansas City is. That's it. Rome's the answer. Someone whispered that in my ear. Very good. A 1-0 count. Where the Orioles stay is Country Club Plaza area. It's been here a long time. It was the first development of a shopping area designed for cars back in the 20s. So it was built like we build shopping centers, only it's downtown. There's a creek. There are lots of fountains in that plaza area, and it's still very popular.
Yeah, beautiful. They've kept it up. It's a really nice spot.
They have late night sushi. 2-0 pitch on the way, and that'll be taken inside for a ball. Zobrist leading it off. Tie game. Strikeout victim his first time up. 2-4-0 for the Orioles, 2-5-0 for the Royals. And that will be taken down low. Chen didn't like that call. And he's got a stare in going with West. Celebrate the 20th anniversary of Cal Jr.'s historic 21-31 next Tuesday. Baseball's Iron Man throws out the ceremonial first pitch before the 7:05 game against the Rays. Good seats remain, and it's a big matchup. Get your tickets at Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. So Zobrist on with the first walk surrendered by Chen. Lorenzo Cain and a base hit, his first time up, extending his hit streak to 5. And the pitch is in there for a strike. For Chen, this is his first appearance against the Royals since Game 3 of the ALCS last year, right here in this ballpark. He only gave up 2 runs, 5 1/3 innings, but the Orioles took a 2-1 loss in that ballgame. 0-1 pitch on the way in the dirt. Good stop made by Wieters.
And it seems like that's happened a lot to Wei-Yin Chen this season. A little bit of a carryover. He's had 9 starts this year, 6 or more innings, 2 earned runs or fewer, and he's come out of there with a loss or a no decision. So Wei-Yin Chen's been very consistent this season. Hasn't got a lot of run support, a little bit more, and his 1-loss record would be very impressive.
Pitch on the way, fouled off. And even with all of that, the ball club is 15-9 in his starts. The Orioles have won more games with him as a starting pitcher than any other starter. That says a lot for him.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, he keeps them close enough. He's had 11 no decisions this year. That's the 5th most in the majors. Yeah, and the Orioles are 8-3 when Chen comes out with a no decision.
1-2 count, runner on at first base, and that ground ball right back to him. Help yourself. There's one. Scope to first. Double play. That takes care of the leadoff walk.
There you go.
2 down. Bases are empty. Oriole fans, show us how you back the Birds as the team battles KC for the first time this year. Tag your tweets using Royal Revenge for your chance to be entered to win and eat. That's EAT and greet with Adam Jones. Masson Orioles to qualify to win and to get more information. And the pitch will be taken down low. Hosmer grounded out his first time up. Hosmer 1 for 9 in the series, couple of RBIs. And that pitch is going to be there for a strike from Chen. Orioles with that home run by Machado. That is the 3rd they have had in the last 7 games. The Orioles are still trying to get above that 3-run production. Manny got 2 of them on the home run. He scored 3 runs or less in all of those losses, the 6-game losing streak. And a 3-ball, 1-strike count on Hosmer. As Buck Showalter said, I am tired of tipping my hat to the opponent pitcher. I love that line. Here's the 3-1 delivery. Ground ball into the shift. Davis. Chen's going to get there this time. And the flip. So only 3 faced in the inning. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on base. And the Orioles, KC tied. him. The Orioles have seen enough of him, in fact. Miguel Sano, Minnesota, 12 home runs in 45 games. He is the fastest to 12 home runs in Twins history. And remember, you're talking about Killebrew, Mauer, Puckett, Sam Rice. Steven Strasburg won his last 5 starts against San Diego. That's his home city and where he went to school at San Diego State. Jimmy Rollins, Dodgers, 147 career extra base hits when he leads off an inning. That is the most of any active player. Ichiro is second, some 45 hits behind him.
Wow. Jimmy Rollins been doing it for a long time, 15 years in the big leagues. But that Miguel Sano is something else. He's only 22 years old. In 45 games, 157 at bats with those numbers.
And probably their third baseman of the future.
Well, he's got to be somewhere. Wow.
Got to play. Here is Wieters. Base hit his first time up. The Orioles had a chance against Cueto in the second inning. First 2 on, but they could not move him home. They had first and third, nobody out. Wieters will take the pitch, and it will be in there for a strike. Day game coming up tomorrow to wrap up this 4-game set. Chris Tillman against Giordano Ventura. And that pitch will miss just inside. 1:30 owes extra. 2 o'clock for the ball game tomorrow, and then the Orioles move on to Texas for 2 night games and a day game. 1-2 delivery on the way. Wieters will foul that one off the fists and back.
It's kind of funny watching Cueto here with all these different deliveries. That was the quick pitch, and it even got Perez, the catcher, didn't have time to set up, give him a good target.
You never know which one he's going to use, which windup he's going to use. And that's right there. And that just froze. It'll be strikeout number 5 by Cueto.
Well, just mixing everything up right now. Take a look at the Nissan pitch track. Steady diet of pitches on the inner third, and then painting the outside corner with 94. You get Wieters.
Cueto gets the K. That'll bring up Pierce, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Steve will foul that pitch off. And Steve getting another chance out in that left field position, where it certainly looks as though the shuffle will continue for the remainder of the season in left field. That ball will go to left field, and that will fall in for a base hit. Zobrist in to get it. Pierce is on. 1 down and 1 on. Our PNC minor league report.
Now David Hess, outstanding job yesterday. 7 innings pitched, just 1 hit. Nothing on the board for earned runs. His first career complete game this season. Very solid year. 9 wins, 3.58 earned run average, and 10 punch outs. He was a 5th round pick in 2014, all the way up to number 10 prospect for the Orioles. Good arm, big fastball. Working on the secondary pitches, but can spin it. Change up coming as well.
Orioles have their 5th hit of the game, each team with 5 now. Paredes popped out to the catcher his first time up. The Orioles DH. Orioles starting the day 8 games off the division pace, only 2.5 off that second wild card spot. Toronto battling the Yankees for top spot in the division. Yankees lost again today, as we said. It'll be Yankees, Texas, Angels, Minnesota, Orioles, Tampa Bay, all involved in the chase for the wild card spot. 2 of them. 1 ball, 2 strike count. For all the different windups, when it comes to the stretch position, pretty routine. What we see from most pitchers. There's not a lot, no differential there. That'll get you in trouble with box, etc., if you try and mess around with a set position.
All right.
1-2 delivery on the way. That'll be outside. And you're beginning to see Joe West in his strike zone here. Both pitchers have looked in a couple of times. It's favorable towards the hitters.
You see there the 4th pitch just off that outside corner.
2-2 delivery and a swing and a miss.
Paredes shaking the head again. Nasty change up here. Working the outside corner, gets his eyes out there, gearing up for a heater because he's locked up a couple Orioles hitters on fastballs away. Not that time. Guessing wrong. The changeup to get Paredes.
Cueto has had an 11 strikeout game. That came in a complete game shutout against the Nationals. Big swing and a miss and a breaking ball away by Jonathan Schoop. He struck out 10 against Pittsburgh, 10 against the Cardinals earlier on in the year, but 11 is the high for the season. The pitch will be outside. Jonathan Schoop, Orioles trying to get a lead in this ball game. Runner at first base. That one is hit hard out in front of it, and it will be a foul ball down the line by Schoop. 2 down.
Well, you got to get him on the plate if you're going to have a chance. Cueto real good about getting hitters off balance, and obviously his execution inside to right-handers, inside to lefties, and then opening up the outside corner has helped him. Very good in this ball game with that pitch, but you got to see him up and try to pick up the pitch. He never falls in any kind of pattern.
1-2 delivery. It's deep. Will it stay fair near that pole? And goodbye, home run. What a shot. Jonathan Schoop above the fair pole down the left field side. There you saw it described by Adam Jones. Whoa! And that pretty much summed it up. That is his 10th, and the Orioles have a 4-2 lead.
Jonathan Schoop, another young player that's putting on some impressive power numbers and not a lot of at-bats. There is the Machado-Schoop handshake. Both going deep in this ball game. 2-run shots.
That ball was up and over the pole down the line. Jonathan Schoop gives the Orioles a 4-2 edge.
Take a look at this swing from Schoop. Cut fastball inside, trying to front door it. Schoop ready for it. Pulled the hands in, squares it up on the barrel. Big fly here at Kauffman Stadium.
This is the 4th ball game this year where Cueto has given up 2 home runs in a game much earlier in the season, all coming in the National League with the Reds. The Orioles get 2 off him here. He estimated that shot at 427 feet by Jonathan Schoop. Pierce, who had the base hit, came in ahead of him, and the Orioles get their own big 2-out hit. 2-1 delivery on the way. Will miss inside to Flaherty. Flaherty had a single and scored on the Manny Machado home run in the 3rd inning.
There's your 4 runs for the Orioles, and only took 2 homers to get there. Yeah, the Orioles have lived and died by the long ball. Got to start stretching out again.
So they break one of the skids. 3 runs a game for 6 games, and that will be taken outside for a ball. That is the first walk surrendered by Cueto. And the Orioles are forcing the issue here. He's up to 73 pitches thrown, and we are in the 4th inning of this game, and he clearly is a little bit upset. And Dave Island's going to come out to talk to him.
Yeah, working some good at bats right now off Cueto. Taking advantage of a couple of mistakes. Cueto very tough, still mixing it up. You see a lot of success in his career. Last year, 2nd in Cy Young voting behind Clayton Kershaw in the National League. Orioles have been hoping this offense start to pick it up a little bit. Jonathan Schoop 106 miles an hour off the bat.
2 down, runner at first base, and the pitch will be inside. Orioles get that order turned over. Manny Machado, 26 home run, came in the 3rd inning. Home run that tied the ball game up before Schoop picked up his to give the Orioles the lead. Quiet crowd here in Kansas City watching Cueto pitch and seeing him give up 4 runs on 6 hits so far, and we are not through the 4th inning yet. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Deep outfield here. Pitch will ride inside for a ball. And the count goes to 2-1. Hard to tell if he's more upset at himself or home plate umpire Joe West in the strike zone. I don't know. Probably both.
Well, I don't think there have been many pitches that Joe West has missed with Cueto. I think he's upset at a couple of the base hits and obviously the home runs by Machado and Jonathan Scope. And yeah, just throwing a lot of pitches right now. I mean, typically he likes to pitch to the weak contact, jamming the righties with that 2-seam fastball. But the Orioles have shown some pretty good patience.
That one reached for Hosmer. Will have room, circles it, and gets in a good position to put it away. But the Orioles have a 4-2 lead as Jonathan Scope delivers the long ball, the first home run that he has hit in this ballpark. As Manny reels him in. Orioles lead by 2. Wild card spot. Here are the remaining games they have home and away, and each team's win percentage, home or road.
Well, you take a look at the Twins, who just came in and swept the Orioles. They've had some problems on the road with that .413 win percentage. They have 18 games left there. But more importantly for the Orioles, 21 games away. 25-38 record on the road with .397. So they've been waiting all year to make a push on the road. 21 games left. That could be the turning point of the season. Got to pick it up.
Pitch is taken for a strike. Wei-Yin Chen finding himself with a 2-run lead here. Compliments of Jonathan Scope. Morales a double and a run scored in the second inning. Bottom of the fourth. 4-6-0 for the Orioles. 2-5-0 the Royals. 3 left on O's and 2 for KC. RBI double by Perez, RBI single by Infante in the second inning for Kansas City. And that play on that unassisted double play, I mean, it potentially was a big play in this game. It ended the inning, and they were hitting Chen.
Oh, yeah.
And they ran themselves out of an inning as Infante went by the base runner in front of him. Chen comes back here to get the strikeout, his third of the ball game.
Wei-Yin Chen's been spinning the ball very well in this ball game. Morales, a very good hitter, and he's been exposing him on the breaking balls. Take a look at this one, burying it down and in. Really setting up those pitches with his fastballs in as well.
One down in the fourth inning. Here's Moustakas, a sacrifice, his first time up. Off speed delivery is in there for a strike. And Kansas City finds themselves in the role of having to try and come back. That ball towards the middle is a base hit. Not hit that hard, but placed perfectly. Then Moustakas is on with a 1-out single. Next Saturday, September 12, the Orioles take on these Royals. It's a 1:05 afternoon game on Saturday. The first 20,050 and over get the Birdland knit scarf. You can get your tickets at Orioles.com or 888-848. Mustakas at first base, one away. Perez, RBI double. Andy scored in his first at bat. Short lead at first. Chen's pitch grounded to third. Manny Machado short hop. One scope. Relay to first, and they get the double play. That is going to be the third double play turned by the Orioles when you count in that unassisted one. Machado making sure that didn't get that extra hop and scope. He had time to set and throw on that one. 4-2 O's. And the Orioles climbing to the top on the big bats of Machado and Scope with the home runs. Each of them doing it the second time up in the ball game, which has been a very difficult time to get to Cueto this year. Cueto's batting average the second time through the lineup by opponents is .201, and the third time it's $1.93. The Orioles, all of those runs, 4 of them scored second time through.
Nice to finally see some smiles in that Orioles dugout.
And Cueto didn't have any rest at all with that quick inning put up by Chen with the double play. And he's thrown 79 pitches towards the hole, and that's going to be a base hit. Parra will make the big turn. So the Orioles lead off the 5th inning with a single, as Parra is now 1 for 3 in the ball game.
Typically not easy to get it by Hosmer, Gold Glove first baseman. Gets himself a little bit in between. Parra coming through with the single to get this 5th inning going.
3 out of the 5 innings, the Orioles have been able to get the leadoff man on base. Orioles will take that. Cueto had retired 69% of leadoff batters with the Royals. Adam Jones up. He is struck out and grounded out. Orioles now with 7 hits in the game. Top of the 5th inning. Ball put up in the air towards the seats and foul. May have seen the signs behind home plate at times saying student night. It is student night. If you get an ID or student anywhere, you get in for reduced prices, $8. They've got a big crowd on hand here tonight. And Cueto, of course, the fact he's pitching here in Kansas City doesn't hurt the take at the gate.
Well, they love him. Fan favorite already. I think he's going to be the guy to take them to the promised land once again this year.
Fouled off the other way. They, of course, have that big 13-game lead in their division. Sometimes history shows that can be a disadvantage in its own way. You play a whole month of games that don't really matter.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the Royals do this, because last season it was just a wave of momentum at the end that kind of carried them through and into the World Series.
Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down, one hopper, nice stop made by Infante, stolen base.
There you go. Orioles offense picking up the aggressiveness. Parra off and running, nice jump, had a little momentum going, quick glance in there easily. Infante making a good play to help Perez. The big man coming out of the box, but spiking the throw. Parra's speed wins that one, 11th stolen base of the year.
Jones struck out, 7th strikeout, picked up by Cueto. Runner at second base now with one away. Do you think it's harder for players in that kind of situation to stay up final month?
I think it's tough because players kind of lose their rhythm. The postseason's different. It's a different beast anyway because the game times are different. You have off days kind of scattered in there, and it seems like these teams that get on this, momentum shift in the end of September, end of the season, they're able to keep it up and sustain it for a lot of the postseason. Now with a month, a little over a month to go now for the Royals, who are in command here of the American League Central, they're obviously going to have to start resting some players. Perez, you'll see, get a lot of rest in the month of September. Some of their key players, and they'll play them tough or more often, I think, the last couple weeks of the season, make sure their timing and everything is right. But it's going to be interesting to see how Yost handles this through the month of September.
Yeah, it's tough. And the Cardinals are going to have to do the same thing. Cardinals have had a lead for so long in their division. All of a sudden it's shrinking, though. Cardinals are just 4.5 ahead of the Pirates, so they're going to have to battle a little more perhaps than the Royals are. 2-1 strikeout. Runner at second base. Cueto's delivery check swing went around. Davis has struck out and doubled in the ball game. The Orioles with a 1-for-4 with runners in scoring position, trying to add to their 4-2 lead in the game. Parra good speed on at second base, being held very tightly by Escobar, is in the shift anyway, so he's right behind him. 2-2 strike count. Chris facing Cueto for the first time in his career in this game. 2-2 pitch on the way. Davis takes it down low. Good stop by Perez.
A couple hard sliders there at the bottom of the zone. Chris Davis. Maybe just kind of get the eyes sights down, see if he'll chase in the dirt, and then ride to the top of the zone. Sometimes teams attack him consistently up there.
Count at 3-2. RBI opportunity. Chris will put it up in the air to left field. Gave it a pretty good ride at the wall, and goodbye, home run. The Orioles have done it again. Another 2 RBI homer. This time by Chris Davis. And for the first time this year, Johnny Cueto has surrendered 3 home runs in a ball game. And the Orioles, who had been suffering the home run drought during the 6-game losing streak, are back at it again.
Boy, it comes in waves for the Orioles. They've been trying to ride a wave for a while. Need to pick it up and ride it for the next 5.5, 6 weeks here. Chris Davis making it look easy on that swing, going the other way, picking up his 35th home run.
Boy, Davis continues his productive year. He's now second to Cruz in homers. He is second in RBIs now with 91.
Well, take a look at this slider right down into the bat path, and he just takes the head of the bat to the ball, not getting outside of himself. But the one thing about Davis, when he's direct, especially on the balls down at the bottom of the zone, he'll get to it, but he really drives through the baseball, and that's how he gets that tremendous amount of carry through all fields.
Matt Wieters, 0-1 delivery to him. Fly ball to center. Kane. He's got it. Wieters is retired. He's 1 for 3 in the ball game. So the Orioles, who have counted on home runs for somewhere around 48% of their runs again this year, when they hit the home runs, they score runs. I mean, makes logical sense, obviously, but for the Orioles, it's almost a necessity to hit home runs if they're going to score.
That really is. I mean, that's the way they manufacture their runs. Get a guy on by way of a walk or a base hit. Boom. Somebody to knock it out of there. That was the goal of theirs. They know what they're all about. You know, when Dan Duquette came over, he was talking about this team, and he says, all right, we're a power hitting team. Let's try to increase our on-base percentage to get more 3-run home runs.
With 2 down, Pierce will take the pitch away. Pierce has a single and has struck out former Oriole Jeremy Guthrie, just taken out of the starting rotation, is warming up. The other thing they'll look at, we're talking about Kansas City heading into the final month with that big lead, is number of pitches thrown. How do you balance your pitchers so they're ready and fresh as fresh can be for the postseason? Cueto's thrown 92 pitches here in this ball game. Took a long time looking in, so Pierce asked for timeout and got it. Here's the 2-0 delivery. Steve will take it, and it will miss inside. And that pitch is a called strike, 3-1. Orioles leading it 6-2. Out hitting the Royals 8-6. That one hit hard and foul. Cueto has given up as many as 4 in a ball game. He did that in August of 2010 against the Dodgers. He has given up 3 home runs in a ball game before. First time this year. Machado picking one up off him, his 26th, to begin the home run barrage by the Orioles. Then Scope, and now Chris Davis. 3 ball, 2 strike count.
Well, this team has a lot of respect, I think, around the league for its power potential, but just inopportune times to become inconsistent.
So the Orioles will add 2 more. All 6 of the runs have come on the long ball. There have been 3 2 RBI homers. That one by Davis, and a 6-2 O's lead.
Game set after a Morales double. Perez picks up a double himself, driving Morales in, and the Royals taking the lead. But Manny Machado picking up his 26th home run of the year, a 2-run shot to tie this ball game up. Well, he needs his partner to do the same, and he does. Jonathan Scope goes yard, big fly over the top of the foul pole. His 10th home run. Orioles had the 4-2 lead there. Chris Davis hit a 2-run shot as well. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
Well, there are the home run hitters. Davis, Machado, Jonathan Scope, and 6 runs as a result. And Wei Yin Chen, some room to work. Last time the Orioles had a 3-homer game was August 19 against the Mets. And guess what? It was the last time they won. 1-1 delivery on the way. Not done though in this game, not with this Kansas City offense. Wei Yin Chen has held them to 2 runs on 6 hits. Paulo Orlando out of Sao Paulo, Brazil. He is 29 years old, working off the bench, long time in the minors. His first major league opportunity coming this year. He has played pro ball. This is his 10th year of pro ball, and the first 9 all spent in the minors without 1 major league game.
Wow. Gotta love it, right?
Yep. 2-2 is swung on and missed. Chen's got the strikeout. That's 4.
Well, Chen's had a good feel for the breaking ball here in this ball game, especially the slider. He's throwing it hard here, 87 miles an hour. He's locating it perfectly down and in to the right-handers. Orlando going down for the first out of the inning.
Infante, their number 9 hitter, and then Escobar at the top. Infante with a base hit and an RBI. The Royals had a 2-0 lead going to the 3rd inning. The Orioles tied it up and then have added 2 more in the 4th and 2 more in the 5th. And the pitch taken outside. Looks like Cueto may be done. Guthrie staying up, throwing in the bullpen.
Well, he labored through.
Pitch on the way. Spot fouled off. All the news all the time right here on Madison. The smoke you see is not in your set, neither is it here at our studios. It's from a cheeseburger stand. Ball to short, Flaherty. 2 down. If we can get it on through the smoke. The Orioles' upcoming schedule brought to you by Mile One Automotive, offering you 20 convenient locations throughout the Baltimore area. Visit them in store or online at mile1.com.
Now finish up this 4-game set tomorrow afternoon at 2, then on to take on the Texas Rangers in that wild card hunt as themselves. 8 o'clock starts both Friday and Saturday, and then the 3 p.m. start on Sunday.
2 down, bases are empty. Escobar has struck out and flied out into an unassisted double play. 0-1 delivery on the way, and that will be down the line and foul.
I think what we kind of forgot to talk about on that unassisted double play was play Adam Jones made. Pretty impressive job running it down. Of course, Kauffman Stadium, the biggest outfields in the game, will be in the top 3 or 4. Adam Jones running a deep drive down from Escobar.
1 ball, 2 strike count with 2 down. It was an unassisted double play because Infante, the lead runner, was passed on the bases, or he passed on the bases, the guy in front of him, Orlando. Orlando was watching the play in center field, standing just off second. Infante was running to second, went right around the bag and right around the runner in front of him.
Yeah, so Orlando's thinking, okay, deep fly ball, I'm going to tag at second base, advance. And Infante's thinking, there's no way he's catching it, I'm going to score.
And they were out. Play is made by Jones, and another solid inning retires the side in order. Our Mazda do-ups when we come back will be Paredes, Scope, and Flaherty.
5 innings. 3 home runs for the Orioles. Finally, the long ball. All 3 2-run shots. And Cueto with the early exit. Now it's time for a little relief for your car, too. Visit Jiffy Lube for regular oil changes and help prevent damage and wear to your engine. Jiffy Lube. Drive in today. Jeremy Guthrie, who's just been moved to the Royals bullpen. There's a lack of performance, is now into the ball game. Fastball 60% of the time. 90-95 with the heater. He does have a slider and a curveball and a straight change. Off-speed pitches. 23 starts this year, and there you go. 5.65 earned run average for Guthrie. Trying to get back his form in the bullpen. Opponents hitting .313 off him this year.
And the first pitch will be taken for a ball as the Orioles bat here in the 6th inning. Paredes 0 for 2. He has popped out and struck out. And a looper that's going to be a base hit into left field. So Paredes is on with a single. Zobrist will get it back in. And the Orioles have the leadoff man on here in the 6th inning. 4 out of 6. Leadoff man's been on, and the Orioles have taken advantage of that. For every Orioles walk, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 to the March of Dimes. The O's have 301 walks, $15,050. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Breaking ball for a strike. Jonathan Scope, 10th home run. Came in the 4th inning, bringing in Steve Pearce ahead of him. Jeremy Guthrie against his former team, the Orioles. 2-1 lifetime. This is the 5th appearance he's made against the Orioles. First time out of the bullpen. ERA against the O's is 2.67. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Breaking ball, and that's going to be another base hit. It'll be played by Kane. Going to go to third is Paredes, and the Orioles cover the corners with nobody out here in the 6th inning.
You're going to like that. Keep it going. Whatever way you can. Jonathan Scope staying on. A pretty good slider. Down and away. Big man using the legs to go get this one. Clean base hit up the middle. Paredes, nice read on into third base. Nose threat again.
This game will always confound you right when you think you have some kind of handle on it. Game billed obviously as a big pitching matchup between Cueto and Chen. And that will be fouled away, and the Orioles get Cueto out of the ball game. Just 5 innings pitched, 6 runs, 8 hits, as Mike said. And it's been Wei-Yin Chen who's dominated the ball game from the mound with a couple of runs on 6 hits, and it's the Orioles offense, which had been doing nothing for 6 games, that has come alive in this one. That's hit hard. There's 1, and there's 2. Right into the glove of Hosmer by Flaherty.
Ryan Flaherty, a couple pretty good at bats in this ball game. Single, base on ball, squares that one up right at Hosmer. And this is a rocket right at him. Nothing Jonathan Scope can do. Hosmer gets the head on the swivel. He's thinking possible triple play right there.
So the runner remains at third base. Paredes 2 down. Manny Machado 2 RBI homer, 3rd inning, 1 for 3 in the ball game. And Guthrie's pitch hit in the air to left off the end of the bat. Zobrist will get there and will put it away. Here in the 6th inning, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. The Orioles on top 6-2. Baseball on Masson brought to you by the Maryland Fire Chiefs and Maryland State Firemen's Associations. Email mdfirevolunteer@gmail.com to volunteer with your local fire rescue and EMS. And by visitannapolis.org. Find the Chesapeake experience at visitannapolis.org. Ah, yes, funnel cakes. Good and good for you. Bottom half of the 6th inning. Do you like yours with just the sugar or a little jelly or
everything?
Everything?
Whatever you got.
Load them up.
On. Honey, sugar, butter,
grease. Yeah. Pitch is in there for a strike. Here is Zobrist. Zobrist walk, and he has struck out. That's going to go to right. Parra coming, can't get it. Makes the stop. Whoa! That was going to be a 3-bagger if Parra does not find a way to cut that off, and he did.
Quite a recovery right there from Parra. Nice bit of hitting from Zobrist. And he's thinking about diving. Gets caught in between and then has to dive to prevent this ball from going out to the right field wall, and guaranteed extra bases, possible triple right there. So holding him to a single. Orioles have already picked up 3 double plays in this game. Good time for a 4th here.
That is hit number 7 off Wei-Yin Chen. Chen really efficient in this game. 60 pitches thrown. Kane a base hit, and he's hit into a double play. And the pitch will be taken for a strike. Among the leaders in the league, he is 7th in average, 7th in runs, tied for 8th in doubles. He has crossed the plate for this ball club 78 times. That's a season high for him in runs scored. 0-1 pitch. Lorenzo Cain shoots that one up the middle for a base hit. And the Royals have 2 on with nobody out here in the 6th inning.
Right back through the box there from Lorenzo Cain. Chen just getting the glove off, but Bayou with some action to Adam Jones. The Raiders and Chen going to talk things over here, make sure they're on the same page.
Hosmer coming up. 8 hits for the Royals. Hosmer's had 18 RBIs in the last 18 games. He got 76 on the year. That's 9th in the American League. He has grounded out twice in this one. Nobody out. Ball will be popped up back, and there'll be no play on that one. So, key moment here in the 6th inning, even though the Orioles lead by 4. Get the first 2 on here. Chen would love to have another one of the double plays. 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th.
Well, we saw that this Royals offense is capable of doing, flipping up 7 runs in the 6th inning, opening game of this series.
Chen will miss up high with that. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fans getting into it. Hosmer with a 1-1. That's going to go to short and caught. Second base, almost. A shattered bat, little liner that Flaherty got back on and almost able to double up Zobrist, but they do get the out.
Boy, great play here by Ryan Flaherty. Tough to judge. Off the hands. Many times a shortstop that's squared up, it's a quick reaction for a jump, but he had to get his timing down. Quick flip to second base. Nice play by Flaherty. A little Inspector Gadget right there. Extendo glove. Bring down that soft liner from Hosmer.
So a big out. 1 down, leaves the runners at first and second base. And that will bring up Morales. Royals 3 for 5 tonight in runner in scoring position situations. 1 away. Morales a double and a run scored. He has struck out. That's a strike. Perez had an RBI double, Infante an RBI single. They came in the second inning. Those are the 2 runs the Royals have on the board. The Orioles have had 3 2-run homers: Machado, Scope, and Davis. Oh, 0-1 pitch by Wayan. Chopper off his foot, foul.
He did a nice job driving that ball to the bottom of the zone right now. Love his fastball command. He got Morales to swing over the hard slider that he buried down and in his second at bat. You see him working the bottom of the zone here with the heater.
Here's the 0-2 delivery, and did he go? Milwaukee down to first base. Ball and 2 strikes. Morales, the 7th best average with runners in scoring position in the American League. He's got runners at first and second in this at bat. Chen's delivery, and Parra over, will not have a play. Cuts it off. Zobrist will turn. He'll come to the plate and score. And Morales keeps that number up and makes it a 6-3 ball game.
This guy can just flat out hit. 93-mile-an-hour fastballs down at the bottom of the zone. Hard slider down and in. And then a breaking ball hanging up in the zone. He isn't trying to pull it. Using the whole field. A right center part cutting this one off, but Zobrist will come around and score.
Morales 350 with runners in scoring position now. Good for 7th in the league. Dave Wallace out to have a word with Chen as the potential tying run is now at the plate. Moustakas, and Chen gets ready to go. Kansas City trying to battle back. A run in here in the 6th, 3 hits, 1 out. First and second. Lead runner Kane, Morales on at first. Moustakas a base hit and a sacrifice bunt. Chen's delivery to him will be taken outside for a ball. So Wei-Yin Chen, second inning, he's run into trouble. The second inning, a couple of doubles in that inning. One 1-0 delivery on the way. That is there for a strike. 1-1 at the knees. Brad Brock for the Orioles. Royals now with 9 hits and the Orioles 10. Good pitch, kept it down and into him. Over the top in the swing, 1 and 2.
3 sliders in a row from Wei-Yin Chen. Feeling good about spinning the baseball tonight. He can go to a couple different weapons. Great at locating his fastball. Outside corner could be opened up too. Sweep another slider out there.
1-2 delivery to third. There's the out and nowhere else to go. Right at Manny Machado. Moustakas retired. 2 down.
Put the defense in the right spot there. Flaherty line out to Hosmer. How about Moustakas over to Machado? And the fastball away. This play by Manny. Head gets right up for that second out. For the third out.
That will bring Perez to the plate. Salvador Perez. Double run scored, second inning, grounded out last time up, 2 down. Perez reminds me a bit in the way he conducts himself on the field, pitching staff wise, behind the plate, of Yadier Molina. And I think that's a high compliment. I think Yadier Molina is probably the best overall catcher in baseball.
Yeah.
For everything he does. Great leader. That ball put up in the air to center field. Pretty good wood. Jones going back, has it lined up, and he's got it. Side retired as he'll pick up a run on 3 hits. 2 are left on base. Orioles up by 3. University College, they bring us this moment in history. You remember Vic Rosnowski? In 1966, he and Boog Powell hit back-to-back pinch hit home runs that would tie a ball game. It was only the 3rd time in history there had been back-to-back pinch hit home runs in the majors. And in 1962, the Orioles completed a 5-game sweep of the Yankees in a 2-1 win. Home runs in that game by Brooks Robinson and Jim Gentile. Robin Roberts beat Whitey Ford in that game on the mound. Rosnowski looked like a number 23 guy to me because I just looked it up. That's the number he wore with the Orioles. And that one is going to be fouled back. For Power in the ball game, a base hit, run scored in the 5th inning. He is 1 for 3, couple of hits in 11 at bats in this series. Jeremy Guthrie remains on the mound in relief for the Royals. He pitched for the Orioles from 07 through 11. 47 wins, 65 losses as an Oriole. Had a 4.12 ERA in 161 games in an Orioles uniform. Guthrie's pitch on the off-speed delivery out in front and fouled it off. So Jeremy now trying to figure out, as are the Royals, where does he fit?
Yeah, well, a big part of their success last year. Pitched in the World Series, Game 7 for them. He just couldn't find that consistency this year.
7th inning, 1 ball, 2 strike count. Breaking ball in the dirt. Orioles retired in order in the 1st inning, and since then they've had somebody on in every inning. Each team has left 4. The Orioles with the 3 home runs, getting that 6-3 lead. Guthrie's pitch will be fouled away, a fastball at 94.
Parr kind of shaking out the hand or the arm. Seems to be in a little bit of pain right now.
Home plate umpire Joe West saying, come on, get in the box.
That's that wrist. You see him swinging. Ooh, something happened.
And as a result, Richie Mansell's the trainer, and Buck Showalter are both coming out. Parr not willing to get back into the batter's box.
I think Buck just wanted to come out and talk to Joe a little bit.
That'll be the day. So now the question of whether Parr can continue here.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't happen right away. Maybe on the finish when he wrapped it around. And might have got stretched out. A lot of times, hitters use that sticky stuff in their hands, a Moto Stick or the pine tar, when you have a full swing wrapped around. Sometimes the glove gets kind of tangled up in there and your hand gets really torqued over the top.
2-2 delivery, hit in the air to center. Good swing on that. Kane will go back and will haul it in. Power retired, one away, 7th inning. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. So Power back. Certainly looked like he had a good swing, but see if that has an impact later on here in the game. Adam Jones 0 for 3, couple of hits, 11 at bats in the series. Adam will take it outside.
Richie Bancel's taking a look there. Talking about when he finished that swing off. Something on the end.
1-0 pitch and one around on it. Got fooled on the Guthrie delivery. How many times has Adam Jones stood out there in center field watching Jeremy Guthrie pitch?
Right.
All those games with the Orioles. 1-1 delivery on the way, and a swing and a miss, and a good breaking ball.
A hard slider gets him to check swing, slow it down a little bit, but put it in a great location down at the bottom of the zone. Guthrie got to see Adam Jones hit a number of times as well, so each know each other pretty well.
1-2 pitch down to third base. Stakis, high throw, nice play. Hosmer, who can really play first base, makes a nice play. Our Lexus 1000 drive of the game, Chris Davis.
Chris Davis going the other way. Backdoor slider from Johnny Cueto. A bomb into the Royals bullpen. Davis picking up his 35th home run.
Our drive of the game brought to you by Lexus of Towson, the area's #1 volume Lexus dealer, 5 years running. See why at lexusofTowson.com. 2 down, nobody on. Chris fouls that one back. So an 0 for 16 coming into the game. He doubled, getting rid of that in the second inning. Then struck out, then delivered the home run. So a 2 for 3 ball game, 2 RBIs and a run scored. 0-1, that'll be fouled back. Take a look here at the direction of the home runs that have been hit, including the one to left tonight, is 4th. 10 to center, 21 to right. That's a pretty good split.
Not bad. Not as good as that year back in 2013 when he flipped out that franchise record of 53. He was using the whole field. I mean, almost equally as powerful in every direction.
Orioles first base coach Rudolph Nureyev stepping out of the way of that ground ball. If he missed the move there. Wayne Kirby, back foot picked up very nicely. Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way. Like that knuckle curve maybe. 1 ball 2 strike count. That's a hard pitch not to give away. Your hand position on that with that index finger on top of the ball, you kind of see that. Swing and a miss. That was a heater up. So he retires the side in order. 7th inning stretch time here in Kansas City. The Orioles lead 6-3. Brought to you by Miller Lights.
Oh, Escobar getting into a Chen slider. Adam Jones on his horse. Great play running it down the deepest part of the field here at Kauffman. But Infante and Orlando, they get tangled up. Orlando wants to go back and tag. Infante wants to score. Oh, my goodness. Royals running themselves into a double play there and out of a potential big inning.
Yeah, that was they were hitting the ball pretty hard. And it's an unassisted double play, the put out on the fly ball to Jones, and then the shortstop, Ryan Flaherty, got the assist on Infante's out unassisted since he was closest to the play. And the pitch taken inside for a ball. That inning, Morales had doubled, Perez had double bringing in a one, Orlando had picked up a base hit, Infante had the single, and then all of a sudden the inning's over.
Yeah, it was kind of break there.
Pitch will be taken up high. Paulo Orlando, a rookie, getting a chance in the outfield for the Kansas City Royals this year. First appearance in this series. 2-0 pitch by Chen. Popped back and out of play. Bottom half of the seventh inning, the Orioles trying to work it down to a win. Get rid of that 6-game losing streak. End the Kansas City streak at 4. They've already gotten rid of that only 3 runs in a ball game they'd put up for 6 games. The 6 they put up here. 2-1 pitch in the air to right field. Parra again, long run. Parra over, can't get it, base hit. Throw in behind the runner will get away. Chen backs it up. So the leadoff man is on here in the 7th inning. Orlando's got a single. Sunday, September 13th's game against the Royals moved from 1:35 to 8:05 ESPN national game. Birds will be under the lights national stage with the ALCS rematch. Tickets and exchange information available at Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. That's the game on Sunday. September 13 is now a night game.
Brad Brock back up in the Orioles bullpen. Buck Showalter over to check out a few numbers and matchups potentially here as this game dwindles down to the final outs.
Infante shows bunt, brings Machado in, takes a strike. He's bunting for a base hit. He is 1-for-2 in the ball game, grounded out his last time up. Each team has left 4 on base. Each team has 10 hits. But the Orioles have the 6-3 advantage in runs. 0-1 pitch, foul back, laid on it, upstairs on the foul ball, 0-2.
Well, really, that's what Wei Chen's fastball is all about. He has such a smooth, easy delivery. When he lets that 4-seamer go, it gets on hitters, and they're surprised. I think that's why he's so effective on the inside part of the plate. He hasn't even, I don't think, gotten comfortable to riding that fastball the top part of the zone like Chris Tillman does.
Ground ball back to him, only plays at first, turns and makes the throw, gets the out. Orlando will get down to second base, 1 away though here in the 7th inning. As promised earlier in the game, we've selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to O's Couch Cam, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. That's got some colors in it.
Yeah, good one there.
Runner at second base, 1 out. Chen has averaged 6 2/3 innings in his starts this season. He has not lost a game since July 21. Since then, he's had 3 wins and 3 no decisions. Pitch on the way, belted down the line. It is a foul ball. Escobar almost.
Well, the elevated changeup from Wei Chen, and he just gets the head out. It's a little too quickly there, unfortunately for the Orioles. Hook's just foul down that line. A couple inches from trouble.
4 for 8 runners in scoring position tonight. Royals have had chances. 4th in the league in average. 0-1 count, 1 away. Big lead at second, Orlando. And the other way, and foul by the leadoff batter Escobar. He's 0 for 3 tonight, 5 for 20 lifetime against Wei-Yin Chen. Wei-Yin still efficient here in the 7th inning, 84 pitches.
Yeah, all year long, he has been the most efficient starter for the Orioles, averaging around 15.5 pitches per inning.
0-2 delivery on the way, inside. Back here tomorrow, day game, Chris Tillman, Yordano Ventura, 1:30 O's extra, and 2 o'clock for the ball game. The Orioles hope it'll be a chance to split the series. 1-2 delivery on the way. Off-speed pitch, got him. He says he fouled it off, and apparently did. Wieters put the tag on, hoping he might get an out.
Well, great breaking ball here from Wei-Yin Chen, burying the curve. Escobar thinking he's got a piece of it. Joe West must have heard something, because he immediately points. Escobar fouled it off.
And Matt did not argue about it. 1-2. Again, this one down low. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Meted the order. Waiting. Zobrist, the number 2 hitter, on deck. Escobar trying to pick up an RBI and tighten this game even more. Chen with a 2-2 pitch to him. 3-2.
Well, that's a good fastball from Wei-Yin Chen, just driven down and in, 94 miles an hour, just off that inside corner. Impressive take there by Escobar.
3-2, runner off second. Ground ball third. Fair ball. Machado looks the runner. Throw over. Runner will go. Davis will hold it. We've got 2 down here with Escobar retired. Orlando takes third base. You sure don't want to throw it away and let a run in. And that's going to be it for Wei-Yin Chen. An effective night. And this is what he has done. As we've said, 6 2/3 innings has been his average pitched this season. It's at this point in the pitch count where the average by opponent hitters start to go up. So Buck Showalter will make the change. Zobrist will be coming up with a runner at third.
Great feel for the breaking ball in this game. Escobar goes down on the hard slider. How about Zobrist? That's a way to start the ball game there. And then the big curve to get Morales. Another quality start by Wei-Yin Chen. So the fastball usage 64%. Good command of that pitch. Breaking ball 28% of the time. 3% more than he's used on the season. Matt Wieters had a good feel for that pitch as well. 6 2/3, just the 3 earned runs. Brad Brock now into the ball game. Fastball 63% of the time, mid-90s with the heater. Breaking ball, the power slider, and the turbo change to go along with it. 4 wins, 2.54 earned run average, 70 punch-outs for Brad Brock, holding opponents to just a 210 batting average.
And Zobrist, switch hitter, will take the pitch for a strike, runner at third base.
And if Brad Brock has anything of a blemish on his pitching record this year, it's that number there, 36% of his runners.
Zobrist out in front of it. Zobrist 2 for 6 off Brad Brock, who's looking to end the inning here in the 7th. Leadoff single, Orlando. He's at third, but there are 2 down. Wei and Chen hoping for win number 8 on the year. And Brock's delivery, Zobrist ground ball, second base. Jonathan Scope rights himself, makes the throw, and they get the out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. 7 complete. Orioles up by 3. Our Honda do-ups, Wieters, Pierce, and Paredes. The Orioles will wrap up this 4-game set. Chris Tillman will be on the mound against Giordano Ventura. Our coverage on Masson, 1:30 Ozark Strip, presented by Jeep. Our game coverage at 2. All the access you need right here on Masson.
We'll take a look at tomorrow's starter. Should be a really good matchup. Chris Tillman has been pitching very well over the past 2 months. Looking for his 10th win. Giordano Ventura, who struggled early on in the season, he's been pitching great. His last 6 outings, 4-0 with a 3.55 earned run average.
Jeremy Guthrie will stay on. Long relief for Cueto. Worked just 5 innings, 6 runs, 8 hits. And the pitch taken outside by Matt Wieters. Wieters a base hit. He is 1 for 3. 1-0 delivery in there. Orioles' next opponent getting beaten up by the Blue Jays tonight. Texas, that team, 10-2. Blue Jays are on top. Blue Jays now have a 173 plus run differential. The Cardinals are next in the majors at 126. But again, since the All-Star break, the Blue Jays bullpen 1.67. Fouled off. And overall, the Blue Jays ERA is the best in the American League. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Matt Wieters. Showalter will be waiting anxiously for the 27th out in this game if the score stays this way.
Right.
Count stays at 1-2. Trying to beat a Kansas City team. It's 24 games above 500 at home. 44-20. They were trying to get to 30 above 500 overall. Check swing, he went around. Matt Newitt not happy with himself. And a strikeout.
Guthrie can mix up his pitches. Showing some pretty good command here. Nothing in the center of the dish. Couple off-speed pitches to Matt Wieters. See him kind of gearing up there, the high leg kick, but over boogieing on the breaking ball down at the bottom of the zone.
One away. Steve Pearce. He'll take a breaking ball on the outside corner for a strike. Guthrie got it in, driven back left field. He got it in, and Pearce got it out. Goodbye, home run. The Orioles have their 4th home run of the ball game. This time it is a solo shot by Steve Pearce, picking up a big RBI in this game. His 8th home run makes it 7-3.
Buck Showalter was talking about Pearce a bit earlier today, saying, you know, Steve Pearce can carry a team. We saw him do it last year for a couple months, his 8th home run of the season. Well, he's fresh off the disabled list with an oblique strain. 2 hits in yesterday's ball game, 2 hits today. Second one, that solo shot there.
And down to second base. Play made by Infante. And got it there in time. Another good play by Hosmer, who had a stretch on an eephus throw. And Paredes is retired.
Take a look at this swing from Steve Pearce. After a slider away, trying to sneak a fastball in there. This 2-seamer's in off the plate, and he somehow pulls those hands in tight. Wow, what a bat path by Steve Pearce. Saw that all last year. Career high 21 homers.
2 down. Boy, what a night for our Maryland lottery contestant, Stephanie Timmons. 4 home runs, each worth $500, in addition to the $500 for being selected. 0-1 pitch on the way and a breaking ball, swung on and missed. Jonathan Scope, one of those homers and a base hit. 2 for 3 in the ball game. 5-game hit streak now for the Orioles second baseman. Guthrie, the 0-2 pitch, just bounces that one to the backstop. Long ball night here in Kansas City, which is not an easy ballpark in which to deliver home runs.
No, this is a pitcher-friendly park. Huge ballpark here. Swing
and a miss. Got him on a strikeout. Orioles get a run on a hit, though. Steve Pearce delivers, measured at 406 feet. Solo shot. And the bottom of the 8th comes with the O's up. Center fielder wants to play shortstop. If he can't do that, he wants to pitch.
Right. Well, Adam Jones, he knows how to keep a team loose. He goes out in the bullpen. He's working on his Darren O'Day impressions. Getting down pretty good. Maybe exaggerating a little bit there. I'll tell you what, though. He's got a good sense of his, that might be Brad Brock right there. He's trying to imitate Zach Britton stepping off. Get a feel. He's got a good feel for the clubhouse, you know.
Yep.
I mean, he is the team leader, and he knows they've been playing some not so good baseball, and I think he's trying to loosen things up a little bit. They play the best when they're relaxed, when they're having a good time. That's what he's trying to do there, loosen them up.
Brad Brock came on in relief and got the final out in the 7th. Works here to Kane in the 8th. 1-0 delivery. So by position in the order, this is the inning the Orioles want to get through with Kane, Hosmer, Morales. 3, 4, 5 due up. Kane, a couple of singles, 2 for 3 in the ball game. He's had 6 hits and 12 at bats now in the 3 games. 1-1 delivery by Brock. He's trying to draw a walk. And that's in there for a strike, and the count goes to 1-2. Lorenzo Cain, leadoff batter, 6th inning. Or 8th inning, rather. And the step off. Cain got his hit in the 6th inning, a base hit, and 1 in the 1st.
Brad Brock, yeah, he's trying to do a little something there. The quick pitch. And that takes him out of his rhythm. I think all relievers should really work on that. I think it's important. It's another weapon to offset the timing, but they're a little too quick. Quick with the arm, spiked it down low.
2-2, got that one in there. And the strikeout, the first for Brock, 1 away.
Well, this is an underrated pitch here from Brad Brock. It is a nasty changeup. Throws it hard. It's a 2-seam grip. And it has split finger sink. Right when it gets to the plate. Trapdoor disappear. Cain goes down for the first out.
Brock's delivery will miss to Hosmer. Hosmer's had an 0 for 3 in the ball game. Only 1 hit in 11 at bats in these 3 games against the Orioles. This year he's hit .223 off the O's with 3 home runs. And the pitch taken down low, count 2-0. Only 1 walk has been surrendered by the Orioles. Chen. Only 1 on the other side. That was by Cueto. 2-0 delivery. And a ground ball to second. Turned over on that one. Scopes got it. 2 down. Well, your favorite Orioles are back with their favorite dogs and cats in the 16 Orioles pet calendar. Proceeds benefit the brand new 16-month calendar for Barks, the Baltimore Animal Rescue and Care Shelter. They're available at Oriole Park, at the Orioles official team store in York, PA, or you can get them at Orioles.com/pet calendar. I think this is National Dog Day, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely is. Yeah, for sure.
National Dog Day. Okay, I'll raise my hand. A 1-0 count with 2 down. Morales, a double, a single, an RBI, and a run scored. He has also struck out. Morales, their DH switch hitter. Brock's pitch to him will be taken down low for a ball. It's a big day for Tony La Russa, former Cardinal manager, now out in Arizona running a ball club. That ball is going to be fouled. Tony very active in the adoption of pets, and all across the nation he's held a number of events to raise money to help care shelters, and is always urging folks when they want a pet to make your first choice the nearest kennel, or you will, wherever animals are available for adoption. 2-1 pitch on the way. That'll be outside, and a 3-ball 1-strike count.
Now, when I was a young player in the minor leagues for the Oakland A's, Tony Russo was the manager of the A's, and I'm not kidding, I found a dog. He was running around on one of the backfields that I was placed on. I brought it in, and La Russa was in there checking out some minor leaguers. He took the dog. He named it Rez because we were on the Indian reservation in Scottsdale, Arizona, and he kept it. He had it for like 10 years. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, Tony is very sincere about that. and very, very active in the cause. 3 ball, 2 strike count. Pitch on the way, and that'll be fouled away. Kendrys Morales keeping it alive with 2 down here in the 8th inning. And that pitch is going to miss inside. Big at bat. Morales battled him on that one. And the walk surrendered by Brock. With 2 down will bring Doug Showalter out. Left-hander Moustakas with power is due up. And for Oriole fans, you already know who's coming in. Ryan Mattis. Lefty on lefty. Orioles up 7-3.
All 55% of the time he's been spotting it very well. 90-91 miles an hour. Breaking ball, big curve, and the straight change 15% of the time. 2.14 earned run average has continued to come down. And have 30 hits in his 42 innings of work. Opponent's hitting 197, but he's in this situation to get the lefty Moustakas. He's holding lefties to a 139 batting average. 16 is 24. Runners have been stranded. That's 67%.
2 down, runner at first base. Ryan Mattis' pitch will be in there for a strike to Moustakas. The base hit a sacrifice, and he is lined out. Orioles lead it by a score of 7-3. One of those big late runs. Pierce, the home run in the 8th inning. Morales off first base. Pitch will be outside. Minnesota's beaten Tampa Bay tonight 5-3. The Twins in the running for the wild card. They have now won 6 in a row. They have not done that since 2011, and they've won all 6 on the road. Last time the Twins had a 6-game win streak on the road was 2007.
Yeah, so the Twins were able to turn it around. They were scuffling after the All-Star break. Everything fell apart. No starting pitching. Getting blown out in ball games. They got swept on this past road trip to start it against the New York Yankees. They come into Baltimore and they sweep the Orioles. Playing great baseball down there against Tampa right now, and they're right back into the playoff picture.
Yep. That ball is hit hard to right field. It is way back, and goodbye, home run. Moustakas with a 2 RBI homer. 7-5. Now how big does Pierce's home run look?
Well, it's a dangerous team. Moustakas has been swinging the bat well. They make mistakes, and they've been capitalizing. They're just up, belt high. Short and quick to the baseball, and he knows it on contact. Take a look, best run difference with 2 outs. The Royals +81 differential. Their team has scored 229 two-out runs. The opponent, way down there. This is a dangerous team with 2 outs. Gets Mattis out of there, and Uday on the way in.
1 run will be charged to Brock, and another to Mattis. 7-5.
Charson, the fastball 54% of the time. He sinks it at the bottom of the zone and rides it up to the top of the zone. Has a sweeping slider, 164 earned run average. He's got 5 wins on the year, a couple saves, 63 punch outs, and 49 1/3 innings of work. Opponent sitting just 210 on O'Day. Lefty's only 197. The fly ball pitcher, 64% of his outs in the air.
So a 2-run ball game. There are 2 down. 2 runs in here in the 8th. Perez up. Salvador Perez 0 for 3 off O'Day. Takes the pitch outside for a ball. So Brock an inning, a walk, and a run. Brandis no part of an inning for Bryan. 1 hit, 1 run. 1-0 delivery by O'Day. Swing and a miss. Throttle back on him. Perez to be followed by Orlando Duup in the next at bat. If KC can keep it alive. Each team 11 hits. Orioles up by 2. 1-1 delivery by O'Day. Perez even on a slower pitch way out in front of it. Count 1-2.
Great location with that slider from O'Day. First slider just off the plate, I feel, and pretty much filling up the box there. All 3 sliders. Good ability to locate that pitch.
Wieters will move to the outside. 1-2 delivery on the way. So Moustakas, who got the home run in this series now, has had 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. Continuing where he left off in the playoffs last year in that league championship series. He had 2 home runs and 3 RBIs in those 4 games against the Orioles. 1 ball, 2 strike count. O'Day to Perez, and he'll put it up in the air to left field, not deep. Pierce on the run will put it away. So here in the 8th inning, a couple of runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. Moustakas, the homer, makes it a 7-5 O's lead. To you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By PNC for the Achiever in you. And by your local Mercedes dealership. Real good ball game underway here. 33,003. 33,003. And they're seeing a good one. Orioles have the 7-5 lead. Looking to get out of the losing streak. Jeremy Guthrie came on for Cueto. Cueto worked 5, gave up 6 runs, 8 hits, a walk, and 8 strikeouts. The Orioles got to him for 3 home runs. Machado, Scope, and Davis, and then Pierce added another in the 8th inning for all 7 of the Oriole runs. Guthrie gave up the homer to Pierce. Pitch outside for a ball. So Guthrie charged with a run on 3 hits so far.
Well, they'd like to get another insurance run, that's for sure. That Steve Pierce home run played big.
That one hit deep to center field. Flaherty at the wall, and there you go. Goodbye home run. No sooner said than done. And the Orioles put another one out of the ballpark. That's going to be 5 in the ball game as Ryan Flaherty's bat is heating up again. Flaherty crosses with the 8th run. It's 8-5.
Yeah, Ryan Flaherty's had some good at bats in this ball game. That one's huge. Up over the 410 sign in center field. Big ball.
Ryan Flaherty getting home run number 5. Boy, is that a big one. 2 off Jeremy Guthrie now. And Flaherty a 2-hit ball game.
Take a look at Flaherty's swing. His fastball actually on the outer third. Long arms. He goes out and gets it, barrels it up. The ball is hammered. A couple hits in this ball game, including that homer.
Flaherty's first home run in this ballpark. Ryan came in here in this ballpark with 1 hit in 17 at bats at Kauffman Stadium. He's gone 2 for 3 tonight with a home run. And Stephanie Timmons, our Maryland Lottery contestant, another $500. Foul back and a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Manny Machado, his homer, the 26, came in the 3rd. He is 1 for 4 in the ball game. Guthrie's pitch to him will be fouled off. 8 runs, 12 hits in the game. Royals 5 runs on 11 hits.
Well, they came out with good energy tonight, that's for sure. Good to see this offense kind of clicking a little bit, driving some balls out of the yard. Maybe it was that Adam Jones bullpen session that loosened them up.
Breaking ball will miss. This is not a high for home runs this year for the Orioles. They had 8 home runs in a ball game against Philadelphia back in the middle of June. They have 5 in this one. 3-2 delivery on the way, and that's going to go for a base hit into left field. Zobrist was back deep. Manny Machado, multi-hit ball game as he picks up the single. And we want to remind you to follow the Orioles wherever you are with MLB.com at bat, #1 app for live baseball. Add bat up to the moment at any moment. In-game highlights, look in, replay reviews, StatCast, and more. MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet. Parr's got a base hit and a run scored. He's 1 for 4 in the ball game. And the pitch to him almost knocks Perez off balance as he went to get it. And a 1-0 count. Manny Machado at first base. 2 for 5. Runner goes. Perez throw there and got him. 2-6 on the caught stealing.
A pretty quick release there from the young catcher. Manny was smiling about that one. Look how quick the big man comes out of there. A throw on the money. Manny Machado leading the Orioles with stolen bases. Gets gunned down there.
So Guthrie gets a little help from his catcher right there.
Pretty close play and puts it right on the money.
6th time he's been caught. He's 16 for 22 now. Ball put up in the air by Parra. It's deep. Kane's there on the warning track and will put it away. And there are 2 down. 2 down, a run in. It is a save situation. Zach Britton for the Orioles, their closer, getting ready to go. Kansas City pitchers came into this game having given up the 2nd fewest home runs of any staff in the league. Only Cleveland had given up fewer homers as a pitching staff, and the Orioles have had 5 tonight. That'll go to short. Backhanded Escobar. His throw in the dirt. Great pick by Hosmer. Saves an error and gets the out, but the Orioles will add to it a run on a couple of hits. Ryan Flaherty delivers the long ball leading off the 9th inning and gives the Orioles an 8-5 going to the bottom of the 9th. The 8-5 lead, and now he's out of the ball game. Giannis will come on to play it short.
And Zach Britton, Orioles closer, into the ball game. Fastball 91% of the time, and a breaking ball 9% of the time. And both very good pitches. 4 wins for Britton, but 29 saves in his 32 opportunities. 58 punch-outs and 51 innings of work, holding opponents to a 228 batting average. Righties at 268, lefties 118 for that ground ball percentage. 79% of his outs on the ground. Unfortunately, a lot of the hits he gives up on the ground don't go very far. With those off the end of the bat.
So a 3-run lead, bottom of the 9th inning. Paulo Orlando is leading it off. A couple of singles. 2 for 3 in the ball game. Infante and then Escobar will be due up. Britton's delivery will be outside for a ball. 29 out of 32 in save opportunities for Zach. And Britton 1-1 record, 1-4-1 in save opportunities against Kansas City in his career. Right back to him. He's got Britton the play to Davis for the first out. 1 down, bottom of the 9th.
Well, not only has Zach Britton improved his game settling into this closer role, but defensively he's made himself much better. Nice play right there on the hard comebacker. Help himself get that first out.
Orioles looking for a win against the starter Johnny Cueto. Cueto in his first outing against the Orioles in his career gave up the 6 runs, 8 hits over 5. Chen could win it. 3 runs, 10 hits over 6 2/3. And the pitch by Britton is in there for a strike. Infante, a base hit 1 for 3 in the ball game. Left-handers delivery to him, and Fonte will take it outside.
Orioles infield kind of shortened up. Manny Machado not in on the grass, but a little bit tighter. Even Giannis at shortstop shortened up. Tell you what, Zach Britton gives up a lot of choppers. Ending up on the infield grass.
Down to third. Machado has time and records the out. 2 down, 1 more to go for the Orioles to get a W.
A bullet down to Machado. Scooting across that grass. Catches him on the heel. Nice job going down with the bare hand, though. And that's a good note for young players. You're going to bare hand that ball if you knock it down. If you go down with your glove, a lot of times it rolls around in there. You can't quite get the handle. Bare hand it. You see the seams right there, and you make a strong throw.
2 away, nobody on. Here is Escobar. City's Escobar will take the pitch inside for a ball. Chen will go 8 and 6. Cueto 9 and 9 on the year. 2 and 3 in his starts with the Royals. And Britton with another out will have a save. 1-0 pitch on the way, and a swing and a miss. Tailed that one against Escobar. 1 ball, 1 strike count. So the Orioles on the verge of ending their 6-game losing streak, and a chance to have a 2-2 series against Kansas City if they wrap this one up with a day game tomorrow. 1-1 on the way. Fouled off at the plate, and a 1 ball, 2 strike count.
98 miles an hour. Has not lost any velocity all summer long. In effect, might have actually clicked up a mile or 2 as the season has progressed, and is still able to hold that great late movement in the zone.
All of the runs, all 8 home runs, 3 2-run homers, 2 solos. Pitch will be taken in the dirt inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Escobar. Well, the Orioles doing this not only against Cueto in his start, but against the ball club we told you red hot here in their home yard. They had won 21 out of the last 25 games played here at Kauffman Stadium. 2-2 pitch on the way by Britton will be a bouncer. 3-2. Orioles can also end that 8-game win streak Kansas City has against them. Scope and Davis and Machado, Pierce, and Ryan Flaherty, the home runs. 3-2 pitch on the way, and walked him. No, not done yet. The ever dangerous walks.
Walks no good. Britton's been so good at pounding the strike zone with that fastball. Kind of lost it there to Escobar, middle of the at bat.
2 down. Zobrist. You certainly don't want to go any further in this lineup. You didn't want to go this far. Kane, Hosmer, Morales. Pitch will be taken up high for a ball. Zobrist. A base hit and scored in the 6th inning. He's walked, struck out, and grounded out. He's 3 for 13 in his at-bats against Zach Britton. 1-0 pitch. And Wieters will go out.
A couple quick outs, and maybe Zach Britton a little anxious to try to end this ball game. Stick with the plan, stay in the zone, stick with what you've been doing. Get all the success in the closer role. Attack the zone with the heater.
The count. Zobrist probably taking here. Yep. And missed. 3-0 with Kane waiting on deck. Gets that one in for a strike. 3-1. Zobrist, the veteran, a very patient hitter. He may take another one. They need another one on to bring the potential tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the 9th inning. 3-1. He did, and it's a strike.
There you go. Nice adjustment. Just before his 3-0 fastball for a strike, he said to himself, stay back. Many times pitchers get a little bit too quick and lose that arm slot.
Runner goes 3-2. Zobrist goes down swinging. And the Orioles come away with a win here in the 9th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a base runner left on. And the Orioles' 6-game losing streak is over as they pick up the victory in this one, 5-11-0 for the Royals, 8-13-0 for the Orioles. Tomorrow a chance to make it a 2-2 series as they wrap up the 4-game set. Chris Tillman against Giordano Ventura. High coverage on Masson, 1:30 O's Extra, presented by Jeep. Game coverage will be at 2. This has been a Masson presentation. O's Extra, presented by PNC, is coming up right now. A happy recap for Jim and Rick. For Mike Gordick and all of our crew here in Kansas City, I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks, everybody from Kauffman Stadium. Adieu.